So I'm looking at TV this morning, right? I'm looking at Good Time, Good Times, and it's crazy to me. Like it was excuse me, my head falling. I'm looking at the episode when JJ got shot by the dude, and they had to go to court, and it took me back to, like, what I'm saying, everything that went on with me and my son when I was trying to get help from the people before it got to the point where it got to. And like it's it's crazy because that's 50 years ago, and that was exactly the pretty much the same thing that happened when I went to court with my son. It was like, oh, like they it's like 50 years ago. If you look at the shows like from that, like Good Times and Sanford and Son, and it's like the same struggles that they was complaining about back then, we still going through today. Like 50 years from 1970 whatever to 2020, going on 2021, and black people still having the same struggles in America. Like it's crazy because like it is, and it's mirror, like it's no improvement. Like this the unemployment rate was the same in the 70s as it is for black people, was in the same in the 70s as it is for us now. They were the same complaints, bro. Like the lack of education, how white people get better, how white schools get better funding and better education than we do now. The crime, the black on black crime that doesn't exist because it was made up by the white man to make us look bad. But gangs, the gang killings, gang shootings. They shot JJ because he didn't want to join the gang. They tried to shoot his dad because his dad tried to stop him from being in the gang. He go to court and the judge said, "Oh, we got nowhere to put him at, so we just gonna put you on probation." Like that's crazy, bro. Like it's crazy because it's reality. And like you look at it on the show, and that's the thing. They put stuff in shows and on TV, and it's like it desensitizes us to that fact that that's real life, bro. Like if like it's a lot of dudes walking the street that don't supposed to be on the street just because of court technicality. Like we always complain about how the system, what I'm saying, be trying to put black men in jail, but there's a whole lot of niggas that don't go to jail because of the fucked up system. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of people that don't, whole lot of kids that don't get the help they need because of the fucked up system. Because we don't have nowhere to put them at. We don't have enough. We don't have enough money for this. But you can find money to build Richmond's, walk on the Richmond signs, or you can find money to build slave monuments or whatever the fuck. But you can't, like it's not enough money to keep the Boys and Girls Club open. It's not enough money to open up an alternative to the streets for these kids, and that's the reason why most of these kids in the streets now. Because when I was growing up, we had the Boys Club, we had after school programs like Sacred Heart Center on Southside saved my life, bro. But it's a whole lot of people that went to that school, that went to Sacred Heart after school, and we probably would have been dead or in jail right now because if we wouldn't have been going to Sacred Heart, we would have been in the streets doing the same thing our friends was doing. And that's the thing about it. Like these kids today don't have an alternative to the streets. A lot of us that's 35 and over are can honestly say the only reason we are, what I'm saying, the people that we are, and we didn't get killed or shot or locked up when we was little, is because we had Boys Club of America. We had after school programs. We had Sacred Heart. We had the Police Athletic League. You know what I'm saying? We had something we can do positive after school or during the summertime, as opposed to just hanging out in the street getting in trouble or being stuck in the house. And and it's like it's crazy to me like we don't realize that why can't we get like they trying to take sports out of school now. They trying to take the activity, the little stuff that the kids got now. They trying to take it out of school because it doesn't fit in the budget. And it's like, bro, like we're losing our generation, and it's sad to me because like 50 years, bro, like that's and that's and even during the time of good times, they was talking about how that been happening for years before that. So you try to tell me, so how much progress have we made as a people, really? If you look at shows like Good Times, if you look at even if you go back farther to shows like What's Happening Now when it was in the '60s or whatever, and they still deal with the same struggles we deal with now, gangs, us killing us, whether you want whatever you want to call it. It's made up by the man. The man just made. No, we're killing we're killing each other, bro. It's still happening. It's been happening for 50 plus years, and and it's not a debate about whether well white people kill white people. It's I don't. The thing is, I don't care, and I'm saying I don't want nobody. I don't. I'm not validating nobody's life over nobody else's life, and I'm not saying that white people white people killing white people is cool or Mexicans killing Mexicans is cool. Nobody should be killing anybody. But the same way when somebody say all lives matter when y'all talking about Black Lives Matter, right now I'm talking about black lives. I'm talking about black people killing black people, bro. I don't care what you label it. I don't care if you saying it's a distraction. It's happening. And that's the thing about it is instead of admitting that it's happening and admitting that's a problem, that thousands of us are being killed by thousands of us every fucking month, not year, month. Over a thousand people are shot a month, and we don't think that's a problem. We want to find it. We want to put it as it's a conspiracy. The white man made it up so black people can hate each other. No, it's not a fucking conspiracy if it's happening, bruh. 70 people a weekend in one state. That's one city, not even a state, one city in out of 50 states and how many cities in America? One city is 70 to 100 people getting killed in one weekend. So imagine that. Imagine that's just that one city. So imagine if you add up how that goes on in every city and county in America for one weekend. But we still say that's not a problem, bruh. 50 years ago, our grandparents, great grandparents, were saying the same thing I'm saying now. Were saying the same thing that our parents were saying, and we haven't fucking gotten it yet, bruh. What has to change, man? I understand the system is not made for us. I understand that, and it's not about that right now. I'm not comparing it. I'm not bringing it up. All of that, like, I understand that fight and I respect that fight and whatever, but I'm talking about right now, us killing us, our neighborhood eating itself for 50 fucking years plus. We've made no progress on black people robbing each other, on fucking gang violence. Fucking, we've made no progress in 50 years, and nobody feels like that's a problem, bro. That's and when you say something about it, and I guarantee you, when it's gonna be somebody go come on his post and be like, "You always bring that up." It's no, it's happening. You can't debate it. You can't deny it. If it's happening, it's not a conspiracy. Whether if you want to get mad because it's reported more than white people, but it's happens, bruh. And the sheer numbers at which it's happening, and it's still and it's been happening for decades. So it's become like it's almost normal or expected. Well, black people, that's what happens in the hood, and that should it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that's what happens in the hood, man. It should not be. That should not be the status quo. That should not be something that people become accustomed to and and accept as normal, man. That shit's not normal, bro. And it's sad because it hasn't changed, man. I know I don't wanna believe that 50 years from now somebody gonna be making the same video saying the same thing I'm saying now. I'm hoping that I'm praying that it ends somewhere, man. Because that's crazy, man. How many parents bury their children every year? And don't people just accept it as normal, man. Like, why can't we just go out, have fun without somebody got to get shot? Why we can't get money without somebody got to get shot, bro? Like, why? it's it's money out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even if like I'm saying, like even if you talk about, I'm not promoting drug violence, I'm not promoting drug sales and none of that. But it's like, shorty, you ain't gotta kill each other to make money, bro. You don't see goddamn Walmart shooting at Target because Target trying, bro. Why they gotta be like that in the street though? And like I said, man, it's just crazy to me, bro. Like this, it's no change. It's nothing changed in 50 years, bro. And I know, and I say 50 years, but I'm just basing it on the timeline of the show Good Times, and it been happening for decades before that. And it's like, bro, we crying for change, but it's nothing has changed in our own fucking neighborhoods. How can we cry for change nationally when we can't even change in our neighborhoods? And the fact is, we have changed, and it's changed for the fucking worse. That's the saddest part about it. The changes that have made, it's been for the fucking worse because we lost our community, man. We used to have community, bro. When I grew up, like when I grew up, and I ain't even I'm 40. Like when I grew up, shorty, it was we had community, bro. Like I knew everybody that lived on the block with me, bro. Like even if I never been in their house, I knew that's Miss Smith with the dogs. That's Preacher Man, the pervert dude. You know what I'm saying? Don't go over his house. We knew their names. We knew everybody on our block name. Oh, that's Keisha and grandma, Miss Smith. You know, like we knew everybody names. Like we called people Mr. and Mrs. We ain't called nobody by their first name. You know what I'm saying? If you was over somebody's house playing and it was time to eat, you ate. You know what I'm saying? If you was over somebody's house and they told you was under their house rules. If they told their kids don't do this, do that in their house, and you did this and that in their house, they beat your ass. And your mom and daddy, and you go home and tell your mom and daddy, and mom and dad was gonna beat your ass for disrespecting them people's house. They won't go try to fight the people for disciplining you because you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Your mom and dad ain't go up to the schools and try to fight the teachers because the teachers. We ain't do all that when I was little, man. Like that's a whole another conversation for another video because I ain't trying to be too long. I'm already longer than I thought it was gonna be on this one. But it's just sad, man. Like 50 years, bro. 50 years. When? That's my question. When? And what is it going to take before we start valuing our own communities and our own lives? And I'm not saying it's everybody, but damn, come on, like, bruh. It gotta be something, man. Shit's sad, man. It's fucking sad.